Welcome to day 2 of my 2025 Norwegian Prima cruise. My sweetie and I started off the day by getting our Prices Right name tags, and then we decided to go to the casino, where I had flashbacks to what had happened on my last Norwegian Prima cruise. If you know, you know. But that did not stop me from gambling in the casino, and I have to tell you guys, I actually ended up having a lot of fun. I did really, really well. Now, my sweetie, however, did not do well. In fact, his machine looked like it might pop at any moment, and he ran out of money. So I decided to take over his machine, and I had a little bit of luck myself. I actually did pretty good, much to my sweetie's dismay. But the joke was on me. I ended up losing most of my money anyway. Afterwards, we went to Hudson's and met up with some of our friends and family, and their lunch menu is actually quite nice. For most of this cruise, I'll probably end up in the indulged food hall, but it is nice to sit down and have a nice lunch from time to time. Now, my sweetie ended up getting the scallops, which were pretty good. My Bessie got some sort of baked potato, which she loved, and I opted for the mushroom soup, which I think is fantastic, and also a spinach Caesar salad. Now, because it was National Margarita Day, I had to get a margarita, which was perfection, actually, and ended up having this fish cake burger, which was really tasty. It wasn't too fishy. It was quite mild. All in all, it was lovely before they gave me this milk chocolate cheesecake, which was top tier. I have never had milk chocolate cheesecake, but I promise you I will have it again because that was fantastic. After lunch, the weather had significantly warmed up outside, and I decided that I would go and sit out and read a book in one of these chairs, which are the best chairs I think ever invented for cruising. I don't know why other cruise lines haven't adopted something similar. Now, it was still very windy outside, but that was not going to stop me from living my best life. And reading a book and staring out at the ocean in a chair like this is honestly the very best thing ever. Look at me. I am so happy. I actually spent a pretty long time out there before it was time to go meet the others for dinner. I had to try this machine, which basically offers Cabernet and beer on tap outside, which I think is a brilliant idea because it was very easy. It wasn't an issue. The only thing I think that might be a negative for some people is that the Cabernet is very cold, which I'm sure on a super hot day is probably perfection. Say whatever you will about the Norwegian Prima, but the spaces on it are absolutely beautiful. I was so happy that I was seated next to Courtney for dinner, and I have to tell you the dinner menu was not my favorite. This happens on every cruise where there's at least one night where I don't like anything and I should probably order Cagney's, but I decided I was going to power through and this was a mistake. Now, the bread on NCL is great, super fresh, super wonderful, and this bruschetta did not miss because I think it was a bread. But I also ordered a cup of clam chowder, and this was just not hitting the mark. And when they brought my entree, they did not bring it with any mashed potatoes. So I sent it back, and when they did bring back a replacement, the fish was gummy. So I ended up getting this pad thai, which was not good at all. And this mint chocolate mousse was fantastic. Now, after dinner, we had Prices Right live reservations, which has been on a couple of the cruises that I've been on, but I've never actually gone. And guys, I was really missing out. I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. I was extremely relieved that they did not call me down, but you know who they did call down? My sweetie. And he didn't win, but they did give him this t-shirt, which he loves very much and proudly wore for the rest of the night. Now, right after the Price is Right Live, they put on a disco show, and it was really cool to watch them transform this space and the Prima Theater. I was honestly blown away at how quickly they did it. Now, lucky for me, my bestie and my friend Courtney were able to snag us some booth seating down on the floor, and we went down there for the disco show, which is honestly something that you should not miss if you were sailing on the Norwegian Prima. I went to this show last year and there were hardly any people there, but they've clearly reworked it, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. The Prima Theater has really incredible lights. It has incredible sets, and these performers were top tier. Not only did they throw their whole heart, souls, and backs into these performances, but they would often get down and then encourage regular people to dance with each other and hyped up the crowd, which was kind of necessary because I think a lot of people were shy at first, but these guys were great. They were able to get everybody on their feet and just dancing on the floor, and the energy was crazy. People in their 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, and 20s were just all mingling together and dancing. And it was honestly a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. The costumes for the performers were honestly just so cool. And I want to point out that earlier in the day when my friend Johnny had asked me if this event was going to be just a regular dance party or if it was going to be a performance, I had to tell him that it was actually kind of some sort of hybrid and both, which I think was like a risky thing to do on NCL's part, but it really, really works out. When I was on the Norwegian Prima last year and went to the disco party, it was very much so more performance based, but this time it felt very, very interactive. Not only were we watching these performers and their beautiful costumes, but we were actually like on the floor enjoying the experience with them and dancing to the music as well. Now, we were all back on the Carnival Jubilee in August and loved the 80s dance party and thought it was untouchable. But guys, after experiencing this, we all agreed this was better. And that's a very controversial take because you know I love me an 80s party. But we really, really were just living our best lives. Now, we stayed around after the dance party was over and they just put on regular dance music. And that was great. But I was hungry because I did not eat my dinner. So we decided to go to the local. And guys, it was a really, really great late night snack. My bestie and I shared some chili. I ended up getting a cheeseburger, and it was the end of a really, really fantastic day.